What's up, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, and finally, I am back, baby. Woo! I am back, and I'm trying out a new camera. So tell me what you guys think of the quality. I'm trying to fix some stuff. I told you guys I want to come correct when I came back. So I got a really special treat for you guys. I got a lot of cool and interesting content for you guys. A lot of decks that you haven't seen on the channel. We're starting off with something fresh. So I wanted to make Relinquished meta again, and of course I wanted to try out Lyrulisc and make them a really powerful deck. So if you guys didn't know this about me, I am not a meta player. I do own meta decks, I do play meta decks, but I do not take the meta, you know, like everybody else does. What I try to do is I try to take a deck that's very underappreciated, what people look at as not good, and turn it into something monstrous. And then I'll start a trend and have people like, oh wow, it's actually good. So what I wanted to do was bring back Relinquished. I love Relinquished because I used to watch Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a little kid. So when I saw Pegasus summon Relinquished, it was just like, you know, it's a euphoric thing. He's just the oldest, one of the oldest rituals ever, and he's just so legit. And even today, he does damage. And with his partner in crime being off the ban list, Relinquished kind of just like, you know, he has his strengths now. Like he's back. Seriously. So this deck is not only based on Relinquished, but it's actually a Lyrulisc deck. You know, the little cute Wingwish chick, the wing beast chicks. So we're gonna hop right into this deck profile without any further ramblings. I have missed you guys so much. Oh my goodness. And we're gonna push this, man. Like, this is today, what is today? Saturday? This is gonna be Ritual Saturday, all about ritual decks. I've told you guys 1,000 times, I love ritual decks. They're my favorite decks. So I'm going to showcase to you guys some of my favorite ritual decks. I'm not going to show you Necros. Reason being is because Necros, I've done enough deck profiles of Necros, and you guys kind of like know how I run my Necros. If you haven't seen it, check it. It's some of the most popular videos on my channel are my Necros deck. Necros, everybody's seen that. Nobody's seen a daggone Relinquished deck that's actually good. So let's do this. So starting off, we're running 3 copies of Relinquished. Now you absolutely have to play 3 Relinquished in this particular deck build. Relinquished is such a beneficial accoutrement and a very powerful monster in this deck. Such a strength, an offensive weapon that the deck really needed. Now he's also level 1, which contributes to the Lyrulisc playstyle. They just make rank 1s. You want to try to get as many level 1s as you can on the field so you can make your assembled Nightingale as powerful as possible, and then go into your independent Nightingale, which is pretty much the only way you're going to kill her is through a kaiju, straight up and down. You're not going to kill her by battle. She's going to be at 5,000 attack. Utopia the Lightning can only evenly match that, which is just ridiculous. So you're going to kaiju this hoe. That's the only way you're getting over her. Masterpiece, Masterpiece is nothing to her. She eats him for breakfast. So like, that's another thing about the Lyrulisc. Their fusion is one of the most powerful and broken monsters in the game. People just don't understand. They sleep on it, and trust me, you guys, this deck is extremely consistent, and it's able to just spam this chick out. She's kind of one of the win conditions. But anyways, back to Relinquished. So if you guys did not know what Relinquished can do, he's really cool. So he's like not a battle god. There is only one god, which is Yahweh, Jesus Christ in heaven. But he is like he's like a master of battle. Like, there's no monster that really dominates the battle phase like Relinquished did back in the day. He can target a monster your opponent controls, or if I'm not mistaken, just a monster. Let's see here. Yep. So he takes a monster and equips it to him as an equip card. He takes on how much? The attack and defense of that monster. So if he takes control of if he takes a Blue Eyes, he's now at 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense. So he basically, even though he has 0, he can become as big as anything that's on the field. So naturally, he has the highest firepower if he's able to touch the monster. He has the highest firepower on the field. And another cool thing is, like, he basically absorbs it. Like, this little hole in his chest is where he takes the monster in. He's just like so legit. He's Relinquished. You guys have to watch. You have to watch Yu-Gi-Oh to understand why Relinquished is so awesome. So he'll take the monster. He gets its attack, and if he would die, he gets rid of that monster instead. He's like, all right, well, you served your purpose. You were my pawn, and he gets rid of the monster, and he stays alive. So he protects himself from being destroyed by battle. And it's really cool. Like, I just love Relinquished. He's not like extremely, oh my god, super broken, but he's just so underestimated. And Who's expecting a Relinquish, dude? Like, come on now. So I love him because he helps me to get over monsters who could not be like, if they couldn't be destroyed, if they couldn't like basically if there was no way that I can get over them by battle or by like a destruction effect like Dark Hole or Raigeki, he basically targets it and takes control of it, which does not destroy at all. Now another thing is if the monster cannot be targeted, then obviously he can't target it. But if the monster cannot be destroyed by card effects, it does not matter to Relinquish. So he is an alternative way to get over stuff. So we're running 3 of him. He's awesome. Moving forward, I know I took a long time to explain him, but you guys gotta understand, this is a Relinquished deck. It's Lyrulisc, but it's based on Relinquished as well. He's like the star of the deck. Think of like how my Herald of Perfection is. He's the main man of the deck. Really awesome. I mean, Herald of Perfection eats him for lunch and breakfast, but he's still Relinquished. Now, moving forward to the Lyrulisc, we're gonna go with 3 Cobalt Sparrows. Now, she is basically the Stratos of the Lyrulisc archetype. They definitely need more monsters because right now they only have 3. Yeah, they only have 3, and you know, you just run 3 of each. So there's only 9 Lyrulisc monsters in the main deck. Now, she's special summon. You can add 1 level 1 winged beast monster from your deck to your hand. And then if she's used as an XYZ summon, your opponent cannot target that monster with any card effect. So she basically protects any if she's used for a XYZ summon for a, I think it has to be a wind. Yeah, a wind XYZ monster. So it has to have wind attribute and it cannot be targeted, which is pretty cool because true Dracos cannot target it with their traps and they can't pop it with Masterpiece. So it's like you have to try to get over it with a different way. But she's not extremely powerful. She kind of just is the Stratos. My favorite one, my absolute favorite Lyrulisc is this cutie right here. Cutie Booty, Turquoise Warbler, and I just call her Cutie Booty. I haven't came up with nicknames for everybody, but you guys know how I am. I try to nickname all my decks because I love my cards. But this is a little Cutie Booty. Now, Cutie Booty is like a Cyber Dragon. If you control no monsters, you special summon Cutie Booty, use Cutie Booty's effect, and Cutie Booty lets you pick a Lyrulisc monster from your graveyard or special summon one from your hand. So you can either Monster Reborn or you can just basically take a neg 2 to make a free rank 1, which I'd rather bring it from grave because that's less cards from my hand. You feel me, fam? But if you have to, bring like your Cobalt spell from your hand, trigger her effect, get your search off, and at least one of your cards got paid for it. But she basically is a Cyber Dragon with the added effect where she can special summon herself and then special summon any Lyrulisc from the graveyard. So if they kaiju'd your Nightingale, you can summon her back because she's still going to be unaffected by other card effects, which is legit. And you can still use her effect to burn, and then you can go into a rank 1. So she is lovely. She is like, oh my god. I get why they call her Independent Nightingale. She doesn't need any help, fam. She doesn't. Now, moving forward to this chick, Sapphire Squallow. So far I've only nicknamed Turquoise Warbler because she's my favorite, and she's so cute. Cutie Booty. So we're running 3 Sapphire Swallows. Now what she does is, if you control a Winged Beast monster, I think it's just a Winged Beast monster, you can special summon her from your hand. But the thing is, you have to special summon her and another level 1 Winged Beast monster from your hand. So basically, in order to trigger her effect, which is kind of strange and lame, which is why I feel like we need more Lyrulisc. We only have 9. Like, it's not going to be very, very often when you have 2, but you basically need 2 Lyrulisc in your hand to trigger her effect. So if you have a Lyrulisc on the field, which is cool, they spam, like, you open with her, go bam, her effect, special from grave. Then you go her effect. Now, you control a Lyrulisc, basically. You special summon her from the hand, and then you special summon another Lyrulisc from your hand at the same time. So it's cool. You bring out 2, but it's from the hand, so you take a neg 2 in my eyes. I like consistent decks, but the sacrifice is worthy for this deck because you're summoning Nightingale. But anyways, so once you do that, she has a built-in effect where if you use her for an XYZ material, she can target, I believe, any Lyrulisc. Yeah, she just targets 1 Lyrulisc monster in your graveyard and attach it to that monster as an XYZ material. And it has to be a wind type, of course. So that is the Lyrulisc portion of the deck. I had to explain their effects because they are fairly new for Maximum Crisis. Some people know what they do, but some people just like have not heard of these girls yet, or they've never like looked into them. So I just wanted to explain those effects. Everything else, I hope you guys know, because we're going to move forward to some other stuff. Now, these are some more old cards in the deck. So, moving forward to the rank 1 support, or just the level 1 support. I'm running 3 copies of Yugioh. This guy is legit. He's basically like my Monster Reborn. He really does help the Lyrulisc a lot, like a whole lot. It kind of grinds my gear that this is a common, but then again, the 9 Lyrulisc monsters are commons too, so I couldn't really go max rarity on the deck. I have 10 commons. which is fine. Basically, it's 3/4 max. It's not 3/4 max already, but it's 3/4 complete as far as hollowing out goes. But this guy's a spirit. If you normal summon him or flip him face up, of course he'll go back to the hand. He targets any level 1 monster in your graveyard, special summons it. So he's monster reborn for level 1s. He's really broken with Mystic Piper. I need a 3rd copy of her. I actually, when I ordered her online, there was only 2 available. Now this girl is really old. I'm sure you guys have heard of Piper Chaos if you play Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. It wasn't too long. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. But Piper Chaos is a thing. Mystic Piper is an incredible card. I'm probably going to have to explain her to you guys because she's pretty old. But you basically tribute her and you draw a card. So you have to summon her. She has to be on field for you to trigger the effect. But you tribute her, draw a card. You reveal it. Now, if that card is a level 1 monster, you get to draw an additional card. So she's a +1. Think of her as just letting you draw 2 cards. It doesn't seem very broken, but in tandem with Yugioh, it's like you summon her, you tribute, draw 2 cards, then you go Yugioh next turn, bring her back, tribute her, draw 2 more cards, and you can still go into a rank 1 depending on what your hand looks like. So she just basically gives you free nets. Like, it's just really cool. So Yugioh and Mystic Piper are just such powerful cards. Together, they're like partners in crime. Think of them like Star Seraph, Scepter, and Sovereignty. Like, they belong together. So that's them. And moving forward with some kind of generic support, but it works because he's also a level 1 monster. We're running 3 copies of Battle Fader. Now, I did not want to go crazy with the whole Ghost Trick thing. The reason why I didn't want to run a bunch of level 1 Ghost Tricks is because I didn't want my deck to look like a Chaos Piper deck, or to look like that deck that basically was like Ghost Trick Mary, you know, Embodiment of Crime and Punishment. If you guys have seen that deck, it's a really old deck, but you guys know how I am. I don't want to copy people. So because like the whole Ghost Trick thing, like Jack Frost and Mary and Spectre, you know, the level 1s, that there's already been a deck based on them. I didn't want to run Ghost Tricks at all. It was just like a matter of pride, basically, you could say, which learning to swallow my pride. But I did not want to run any Ghost Tricks at all. So you guys can do that if you want. This is not a Ghost Trick deck, so I did not want to run any Ghost Tricks, period. So I chose for stalling Battle Fader, which he's actually he's a better staller than the Ghost Tricks anyways, because they stop 1 attack. He ends the battle phase completely, and he's still a level 1 on field for you to overlay to make your rank 1. So that is it for the level 1 support for the deck. Moving forward to the Ritual and the Fusion support. So I'm running 3 copies of Handy Manny and 2 copies of the King of the Swamps. He supports facilitating my my Ritual summons. He supports facilitating my Fusion summons. The only thing that this deck does not do is Synchro Summon, and links are not out yet. They're coming very soon, but anyways, so this deck can perform basically a vast majority of the summoning mechanics available right now in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! It can Fusion Summon, it can Ritual Summon, and it can XYZ Summon. Now, I could have ran Blackwing level 1 tuners. You guys can look up some Blackwing level 1 tuners because they are level 1 wing beasts, which would fit the theme, but they all suck like they're garbage, trash, boo-boo. And there's not very many good level 2 synchros, and I don't really care for level 2 synchros, so I was like, I could put synchros in the deck, but it would literally just be running synchros just to have them, which is kind of like lackluster. So we're running the 3 Handy Mannies and the 2 King of the Swamp, not only to search out the poly, but he can be treated as basically as a substitute for your fusions. So moving on with the spells. Need I say Moss with this one? This is my favorite spell, Pre-Preparation of Rites. I like stock up on this. This is just such a great card. And we're also running 1 Baby Prep. So we have our preps. I mean, come on, fam. This is a ritual deck. You guys know how I love my rituals. If you didn't know, 3 Stacks loves rituals. My favorite decks are rituals. I love the most difficult decks to play. I love the idea of a challenge. I love Flower Guardians. I love decks that are not easy to play. Have you guys ever seen me be an ABC fanatic? Or like a Blue Eyes fanatic? Those decks are just very simple. They're great. I'm not saying that they're sucky or crappy or less powerful than they are. They're just not a mental challenge. I like Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it's a strategy game and it's also a mental challenge. It keeps you thinking, it keeps you on your feet. You have to know how to do math, and you have to be a smart kid to learn how to build a good deck. And when it comes down to ritual decks, you really have to know your P's and Q's. You got to be on point. Because you can't build a crappy ritual deck. It's just never going to work. So like, I love ritual decks. I've kind of mastered building ritual decks. I basically have learned how to incorporate a resource engine in a deck that makes sure that whatever you do, you're able to pay for it and make sure that your hand and card economy is staying on par with your plays that you facilitate on the field for your field presence, if I'm making sense. So we have the preps, Of course, we have 3 Black Illusion rituals. What I love about this, if I'm not mistaken, is you don't even have to, exactly, you do not have to tribute monsters who the level equals literally exactly 1, which is cool. You can play this and tribute a level 12 monster, a level 13 monster. You can tribute 3 level 3 monsters or 3 level 12 monsters and summon 1 Relinquished. I just really like that because there's no level restriction. So you can tribute any monster to summon Relinquished. You can literally, like, if you have Black Illusion Ritual in your hand, you can normal summon Manju, search out Relinquished from your deck to your hand, and it's like so clutch. Like, if you have these 2 cards in your hand, you already have Relinquished. You just summon him. You already have this. Search out Relinquished. You can play this, tribute the same Manju that you normal summon, and summon your Relinquished. So it's almost like you summon him for like the cost of 2 cards. And if you have pre-prep, it's basically like free because you're always gonna have a monster. So once you have pre-prep, you don't need anything else. Any monster will suffice. You don't have to have a specific level. So I do love this ritual, in particular Black Illusion Ritual, because it does not have to be exact levels. And he's level 1. Like, you can tribute any monster. There is no monster without a level except like Ultimate Zoken or, you know, XYZs. But anyways, that's beside the point. So if you have pre-prep, you literally have Relinquished because you're always going to have monsters. I run 25 monsters. More than half of my deck is monsters. And any monster, regardless of the level, will suffice for his ritual summon. So pre-prep is basically a 1-card ritual summon. It's really cool. I love it. And prep can be the same way. So I do love this ritual spell. It's very broken. Just because of that fact. Like, it may not seem like a big deal to you guys, but I'm a ritual player. So like when I read this, because my Herald of Perfection deck, you have to tribute exactly level 6. So it's like more of a challenge, but this is easier to do. So I really love this. It's like, for me, it means a lot, but like maybe everybody else wouldn't appreciate it because like nobody gives a crap about rituals. But moving forward, we're playing 2 copies of Polymerization. I did not want to maximize on this because I do run Kings of the Swamps. And while the Independent Nightingale is such a clutch card, which I do run 3 of her, don't get me wrong, I'm running 3 of her, I'm testing it out. The reason really is that stupid Shrew King thing, the Lysogasm or Lysogasm, whatever, I don't care how to pronounce it. If he banishes 1 of her, I'll still have 2 because I want more than 1 of her. So I think it's clutch to have 3 in my extra deck. And also I do play 2 copies of Instant Fusion. So sometimes you actually use your Instant Fusion to summon her and she won't die because she's unaffected by every other card effect, basically except her own. So like Instant Fusion does not kill her. Instant Fusion brings her out for free. So it's another great reason to play 3 of her. But that's the reason why I'm playing 2 polys and not 3. Not only will it brick, but it's just, it's irrelevant. You have your 2 Kings of the Swamp to act as 2 basically additional copies of your Polymerization if need be. So basically you're running 4 polys, which is great. It's more than enough for me. I see her enough. Like it's not that serious. So we're playing 2 polys, 2 Instant Fusions, 3 Black Illusion Rituals. And to sum up the spells, we're playing 1 copy of 1 for 1. And a 1 for 1, I mean, the deck is basically all level 1. So like this needs no explanation. And the preps, again, any of these is basically a 1-card ritual summon, which is pretty broken. I really do love this deck, and I hope you guys can appreciate this if you're fans of like decks that don't get love. And the traps, I'm just running 4, triple strike and 1 warning. To sum up the main deck, it's 41 cards. If I cut out the warning or 1 of the strikes, it would be exactly 40, but I don't really care about the 40 card rule. If you're a good deck builder, you can make a 60 card deck competitive. So moving forward with the extra deck, we are playing 3 copies of Lyrulisc Independent Nightingale. Now this chick, if you make her right, she will come out at 5,500 attack, and there is no monster that's relevant in the meta. I'm sure like Thenin, you know, the Sphinx, and there's cards out that can get high attack power, but not in the meta right now that people are playing. So she is like the biggest boss monster. Ultimate Falcon can't even answer to her. If you make her right, she'll basically come out at 5,500 attack. She's unaffected by everything. No card effect can touch her. You cannot destroy her by battle. Obviously, she's at 55 freaking 100 attack points, and you basically either kaiju her or lose. She's much more powerful than Masterpiece. She eats him for breakfast. Masterpiece cannot touch her. He can't hang with her. By battle, 3250 is nothing. She'll eat him up by battle. She can burn your opponent to death depending on how much you modulate her level. So how you modulate her level is by making your daggone assembled Nightingale as big as possible. So it's really cool. Like I like the names because you do assemble her. Like you have to put her together like a freaking puzzle. Like you have to summon a bunch of level 1s on the field and overlay them to this one chick. And she's powerful on her own, but what you really want to do is fuse her into the independent Nightingale, and she'll be at 5,500, unaffected by every other card effect except her own. And she can target herself. I believe it's herself or any monster. No, yeah. So once per turn, you can inflict damage to your opponent times this card's level by 500. So if her level starts at 1 and you fuse the assembled Nightingale as one of her fusion materials, that's the requirement to summon her. And however many XYZ materials that assembled Nightingale had, that's how much her level increases. If I'm making sense, if she has 5 XYZ materials, she will gain 5 stars to her level. So she starts at 1, she will be at a level 6. And so also her other effect says she gains 500 attack for each level, for her level. So naturally she'll come out at, let's see here. So she's a level 1. So she'll come out at 1,500 attack. And if you give her those 5 additional by fusing her the proper way, she will gain 3,000 in addition to her regular attack, which is pretty clutch. Like you can get her as big as you want her to be, basically. Like there really are no limitations on how you summon her and how strong you make her. So she is by far like the most powerful boss monster in the game right now, because she has like no flaws. Like there are no flaws in her. Like she's a really, really strong card. You can kaiju her, but that's the only thing you can do. That's the only thing you can do. You cannot do anything else. Like you either kaiju her or like D-barrier or solemn warning to summon. You can't even strike the summon, obviously, and you can never strike the effect. You can't. She's unaffected. So that's her. We're also playing 1 copy of Thousand Eye Restrict. Now, this was kind of just because there's like literally no purpose and reason for. Well, he is literally just like Relinquished, like same identical effect like these guys. This is Relinquished with Thousand Eyes Idol fused into him. So like this is Relinquished is basically either his Big Daddy form or like this is his ultimate form at full power. But Thousand Eyes Restrict has the same exact effect as Relinquished. I think there's like one small tinker in it, but I basically just play him because it looks cool. And it's like it's part of the theme of the deck. And he is a level 1, so you can use him for level, for fodder for making your rank 1s, and he can take control of monsters. Like you can play instant fusion, get rid of a monster for free just to clear something out. So I just love these guys. So these are my 4 fusions that I'm playing. I really do love this deck. I hope you guys know that. I'm passionate about the game and I love my decks. We're playing 3 assembled Nightingale. She is the most important card in this extra deck because without her, you cannot make independent. Well, you can make her with instant fusion, but she won't be strong at all. She'll only be at 1,500, which is whatever. But assembled Nightingale is very clutch. Now, I'm going to read you her effect. So she gains 200 attack for each XYZ material attached to her. She can attack your opponent directly up to the number of XYZ materials that she has, which is really clutch. And also, during either player's turn, you can detach one material from this card. This whole entire turn, Lyrulisc monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and you take no damage whatsoever. So, if somehow, some way, you made this chick at like 4,000 or 5,000 attack, and your opponent like tried to Utopia Lightning, prior to him summoning Utopia the Lightning, you could chain her effect. They can't be destroyed by battle, so it don't matter if Utopia the Lightning swings for 5,000 over 4. You'll take 1,000. No, you won't even take damage. I'm sorry. I just read her effect to you. You will literally take no damage, and she will not be destroyed by battle at all. So like I said, she's like a flawless card. Naturally, you give her so much attack that they should not be able to get over, but if you made the scrub mistake of making her with 5,000 or less attack, Utopia the Lightning can match her in battle. So you'll use your assembled Nightingale to fix and mitigate for that problem. So there's a solution for your problem. So she is like the stalliest card ever, and she actually can kill your opponent. I'm going to give you a cool example. If you summon her with 4 XYZ materials, she will be at 800 attack, right? Because 200 times each material. And she can attack your opponent directly 4 times. So you go 8, 16, 24, 32. It seems like small damage, but it's free. You can attack directly, and you attack over any monsters that are on the field. And it's basically like Gaga Cowboy 4 freaking times. And think of how good Cowboy is. So I want you guys to understand that this is a very, very powerful rank 1. Very broken. And this deck can compete in Link format because it does not spam from the extra deck. It focuses on summoning one extremely powerful boss monster. It'll summon a bunch of level 1s, overlay into this chick, and then fuse her into this one chick. So this is a very powerful deck. If you don't want to buy Link monsters, this is something great. So I hope you guys can enjoy and appreciate this coming from Team King of Games. We're giving you guys a great idea for a powerful deck. Please take my word for it. This is a great deck. I would not lie to you guys, and I don't build trash, bro. Like, you know, I I'm not gonna build a crappy deck. Like, I'm always gonna come on point with it. So Sylvan Princess Sprite, I mean, I'm not gonna explain her effect. Ferocius, the embodiment of crime and punishment. They are a little win condition in their own. They basically force your opponent to kill himself. Kamikaze. Really love it. Look them up. I don't want to explain everything else. I just wanted to explain the Lyrulisc because people probably don't know them, but these cards you should know about. Number 78, Archive. The number Archive. He is really broken. I do like that this deck summons rank 1s because some of the most broken XYZs are rank 1s, and it's like no deck can really like take advantage of them because there aren't very many decks that spam level 1s. So number Archive is like broken as crap. And then number 100, Numeron Dragon, is broken as crap. Like he's so broken. Gold Rat, it's a funny guy. He's really cute, and he does some stuff, man. He fixes your bad hands. He's kind of just like every now and then. Like these last 3 rank 1s are like every now and then. Ghost Chick Duhan, you can run multiples of him because he does act like a Dante. Like if you have another one in your grave, you can basically, like, the second one dies, bring back the first. You'll always have a Duhan. It's not that necessary. I basically use him to have an opponent's monster attack to get over some stuff. And Slacker Magician, if you're slacking off in your job and you're not doing a good job. So that sums up the deck profile, and that will sum it up for this portion. So next, I'll be bringing you guys Prediction Princesses, and then I'll be bringing you guys Gishkis. If you did not know what Gishkis are, I will explain that to you. And then finally, we'll be bringing you guys, what do you know? Herald of Perfection, save the best for last. So please stay tuned for more. I'm putting this all up in one night like a crackhead. I'm going to go to sleep later. But I promise you guys, I want it to come correct. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm slacking off. So I'm going to put up as much content as I possibly can to show you guys that I really do love you and I mean it. And I'm going to end with this. Father God, in the name of Jesus, please uplift my brothers and sisters and everyone that watches this channel. Please bless their lives and make them prosperous in all their ways. Remind them and remind me of the mistakes that I make, Lord, and remind us that we are not perfect, but nonetheless that there's no excuse to be made, that we should try to do better, to be better. And please encourage them to pursue you, Jesus, on their own accord. And I pray that you forgive us all of our sins, Lord, and bless us in everything that we do. In the mighty name of Jesus, I pray. Thank you. Amen. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. And stay tuned again for the next videos. It's like a channel. Just stay tuned. Put on a commercial. We'll be back. Boom.